So this is the story of the real Jeepers
Most of
Creepers,
us have
man.
seen Jeepers Creepers from 2001, but I feel like a lot of you don't realize that the beginning of that movie is based on a real story, a real situation that happened. In 1990, 46-year-old Dennis Depew murdered.
I ain't gonna lie. Shorty, why would you marry a nigga that look like that, man? You ain't the best looking yourself, but damn, this nigga look like fucking Frankenstein. Shit.
His wife Marilyn and stashed her body. But the story is extremely bizarre. Although the director has never come out and said it, it's pretty obvious that this story is basically that's the beginning of Jeepers Creepers. So I wanted to come over and see for myself, see the abandoned school, and drive down South Prairie Road. This is where it all took place. Easter Sunday, 1990. Ray and Marie Thornton are driving down this road.
I don't need to do no investigating, man. I'm cool.
A Chevy van comes up behind them very quickly and then very aggressively passes them at a high rate of speed. And that's when Marie Thornton says, referencing the license plate, GZ, geez, that guy's in a rush. They have a laugh about it and continue on down this road. And just a few miles further, they come across the abandoned schoolhouse. And it's there that they see that van again. They see a man, and he looks like he's holding a blanket or a sheet that is full of blood, or at least it's red. At the time, they don't know. And here it is. The actual school, built in 1908. This is it. This is where Ray and Marie Thornton drove by and saw that same vehicle and that man. His car, I believe, was parked right in here. I believe this is where the big tank was. And he was somewhere
that
back
nigga
here.
Reincarnate. That nigga come back to life and
see him with
pop out on your dumb ass.
A blanket or a sheet. And that's right when Marie says, what is that? That man, he has a blood-soaked sheet or something. And they were like, look, we're not hanging around. Let's get out of here. So they take off. They realize they probably better get the heck out of this area, so they keep on driving.
So did they stop? I ain't gonna lie, like it sounded like they stopped and was like being nosy type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they stopped, like, oh, what is he doing? Does he have a blood-soaked sheet? Oh, we better get out of here. Nigga, you should have never stopped. Nigga, keep going, bitch.
They kind of take off. And
yeah, they stopped for sure.
A few miles down the road, that same vehicle, that Chevy van, right on their bumper, riding their bumper. And now they are freaking out. What is this guy doing?
Finna kill
this
y'all.
Goes
shit.
on for a few miles until the Thorntons pull off and head down a different road. They can see in their rear view mirror that the vehicle has pulled off at the intersection. He's on the side of the road. And they say, you know what? We need to turn around. Very ballsy couple, the Thorntons.
Nah, that's not ballsy. That's dumb as hell. Y'all don't need to do shit but go on about your business, man.
We need to get a description of this vehicle, get the license plate, because he's up to something. We don't know what that whole thing was.
And if you really want to fight crime, bitch, go to the police station. Don't go try to do that shit yourself.
Put it into the ground. They turn around. They come back to the intersection. The van is still there, and that man is switching his license plates. The passenger door is open, and Marie Thornton can see that it is covered with blood. And they're like, we're out of here.
You should have been out of there.
Head back in the direction of the school. They
what?
want to go see what this guy was doing.
What? Oh my God. They went back to the school? Alright.
They head back.
Yeah, alright.
They end up at the school again.
You fucking dumb ass niggas. Who the fuck is y'all?
Believe it or not, they get out.
Oh, yeah.
They need to see what this guy was stashing. What was he doing? What was that sheet or that blanket? So they get out of their car and they walk down.
And motherfuckers be thinking they in a Scooby-Doo episode, bitch. You not no fucking detective, ho? You not no mystery solver, man. You can't solve this shit, man. Go to the fucking police, man. Or get the fuck out of town, bitch. Why would you go? Who the fuck is y'all? Did y'all have a gun on y'all? Probably not, nigga. What the fuck is y'all doing?
They find a little animal hole, and it's there that they find a blood-soaked blanket. He was trying to put that down a hole unsuccessfully.
What's up? Welcome to Developer Semicolon. In today's
I'm gonna
video,
predict the story for y'all, man. That nigga came back and put belt to ass, nigga.
It's a big misconception that he had anything to do with the inside of the school. He didn't stash anything in the school. There was no body found in the school. I think he pulled over to try to stash that bloody blanket, or possibly even to, if he found a good spot, to stash Marilyn. At that point, they take off and they're headed for the police. Now, this happened just after the situation at the Depew house. Now, Dennis and Marilyn Depew had been married for many years. I believe it was 18 years. They had gotten divorced, but he did have specific visitation rights. Again, Easter Sunday, he came to pick up the kids. They did not want to go with him, and he got into an argument with Marilyn, and she fell down. He pushed her, or she fell down the stairs. She hurt herself badly, and he basically dragged her out of the house, telling the kids that we're going to go to the hospital. We're going to the hospital. Well, they never went to the hospital, but one of the kids did run out of the house then, and went to call the police. So the police had two separate calls, probably even at the time not even realizing it was the same person that they were calling about.
Damn.
So what happened was, a day later, they were looking for Dennis.
A day later?
He disappeared.
There's so much bullshit in the story, bro.
And it was a day later.
How you get a call?
Basically, in between this school and where their house used to be, they found, I believe it was a town worker, a road worker, found Marilyn Depew's body on the side of the road, and she was recovered. She had been shot in the back of the head, most likely in the van, which is why it was so bloody in there. So once all that happened, for some time,
I see they put 666 on that
members
motherfucker.
And friends
they spray painted the side of the building.
Started receiving letters from Dennis, who was on the run and hiding. Strange letters with biblical inscriptions, basically justifying why he killed Marilyn, saying that she was turning his family against him, that he had lost everything. Dennis was gone for a year, and it was then that Unsolved Mysteries picked up the case. They actually showcased it. I believe it's season 3, episode 20, I think. I'll put it down below. Maybe I'll put a link to it because it's on YouTube. But they did a story about this. They featured this story on there. And so it goes that he saw it on TV. He was living a whole different life at that point. Took on the alias Hank Queen, and was living with a girlfriend, and down in Texas, I believe, Dallas, Texas. And he knew he had to get out of there, so he left that night. And it just so happens that that girlfriend's family members were watching. They called the police, and they found him that night trying to leave the area. There was a long pursuit. He was shooting at them. He actually blasted through 2 police roadblocks, and he ended up shooting himself, I believe in Mississippi,
Damn.
in the head, actually in the exact same vehicle in that van that he shot Marilyn.
That's crazy. Shit came full circle, man.
And this is Dennis's final resting place here.
That nigga's still
with his
there, man.
family. This isn't too far from where that schoolhouse is, just over the border in Indiana. And I believe, yeah, so this is his mother and father. And I don't know who these people are, possibly sisters.
Nah, that's they fucking
His father actually
mom or some shit. That
lived
shit
until
said
2005.
1892.
His mother until 1997, and of course 1991 for Dennis when he took his own life. Clearly, the flowers and the plants are on this family here, so they probably still have family in the area. I mean, everybody has family. Serial killers, bank robbers, murderers, everybody has family. Marilyn, I think she was tired of being controlled. There was a lot going on.
This nigga out there dolo too, boy.
There was a lot of arguing, and they just were not getting along anymore. And she wanted the divorce, and reportedly he did not want the divorce. And so these things happen sometimes.
You gotta watch who you marrying, man.
I don't see a marker at all.
Y'all be marrying serial killers and shit.
He's that deep, you know?
Yeah, that's what I figured. Since 1990, it's not that long ago where it'd be, you know.
Yeah, completely overgrown.
Yeah.
So I'm
How often are they unmarked graves?
it happens.
Really?
Yeah.
Unmarked
at least I know I'm
grave.
not crazy then. So anyway, I wanted to come out to the Oakland Hills Cemetery here, pay my respects to Marilyn. But I searched and searched and searched, visited the office a number of times, and eventually someone came out to try to track her grave down. We couldn't find it. And she's more or less certain that it's an unmarked grave. The chances are her family just could not afford, or maybe did not want, any kind of a plot or anything for her, any kind of a tombstone or headstone or anything. But she is pretty much,
you can't even find her.
right in this spot here.
Man, what the fuck?
And that is the story of Dennis Depew, the murder of Marilyn Depew.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that Jeepers Creepers shit, that shit's a scary ass
the
movie,
inspiration, at least at the beginning, of Jeepers Creepers. Crazy
man. I
story.
watched that shit when I was a kid, boy.
At the expense of Marilyn, of course. And wherever she is, I hope she's resting in peace. All right, I'm getting back on the road. See you in the next video.
Yeah, man, that shit crazy, man. Shorty done married Frankenstein. He done went bad on her, man.